All right, when you mix Ashe Wrestling with Black History Month, you get one of the biggest cards that you probably have ever seen. February 24th at Piedmont Open IB Middle School in Charlotte, North Carolina. You will see the All-Father, Darius Carter, take on the revolutionary Darius Lockhart. And Mr. Darius Carter, as you see right here, he's calling himself Darius Prime. We'll get into that for a little bit. I know that's a little shade towards Darius Lockhart. At the last Ashe show, though, Darius, you made some waves. All right, you had some pretty big moments there. Outside of the fact that you beat former world champion Jonathan Gresham, you also interrupted a segment between Darius Lockhart as he was talking about what he wanted to do as he was coming back, and you also pushed Mr. Milligan, who works at Piedmont Open IB Middle School. There's a lot happening there, Darius. What are your takeaways from Ashe, the first event back in December?
My takeaways are your takeaways, what you just proclaimed to the world, what you just said happened. I mean, these are facts. You know, these aren't opinions. You just stated what I factually did. It wasn't just about having the best match. It was about being the most seen. It was about being most remembered. I recognized the stage that we were on. I realized what Ashe had attracted, the eyes that it attracted, the attention that it attracted. And my goal was to go out there and leave the most remembered aspect of the show. So it's Darius Lockhart's show, yes, but I was the one that was most remembered. And that's why I was so appalled by the words that he had when he addressed me, that promo he did. It was like we took steps backwards. I thought we were past that point of discrediting one another, but he took that blow. And I guess we're going to get to that conversation point. This is me going out there doing what I say I'm going to do. When I say I'm going to be the All-Father, I'm going to come and be the show. A lot of people say that and wrestle a good match and then think that they're going to be remembered. I went out there to leave an impression on every single person that nobody else on that roster could match. And we're talking about sharing a card with Aja Kong. So this is a insurmountable task. I realize what I'm asking of myself. But let's look at the facts. I am the most discussed. Top 5 moments of Ashe, and I was in 2 of those moments. Ranking number 1. I didn't choose that. That wasn't me who said that. The website, the promotion, put out the material telling you the top 5 moments. And look where I ended up. So am I saying anything incorrect? Am I posing, or am I being the person that I said I was from the very beginning?
I think when you sit back and look at it, and yeah, when you're on a wrestling card, you're right. A lot of times the key is to make sure that people remember who you are, whether it's because of your wrestling ability or if it's what you do on the card. But you physically harmed somebody who was not a trained professional wrestler, who was not involved in the show at all. Then you also kind of interrupted a segment that you weren't supposed to be a part of. Does any part of you have any type of feelings towards that? Any type of do you regret any part of that, your involvement in those 2 parts of that event?
But who are you to say, in your position in Ashe Wrestling, who are you to say what I was and wasn't supposed to be a part of? Who told you that? Where did you get the memo that I am supposed to be at certain places at certain times? It's not your call. It's not anybody's call. What I saw was a moment. Why did I see that moment? Because Billy Dixon comes out, who, again, we're supposed to be retired. When you lose a I Quit match and you say it's your last match, it's your last match. You're not Mick Foley. Mick Foley is Mick Foley. You're not Mick Foley. When you say you retire, stay on. Do backstage material. Help promote. He does a great job in the backstage area. Why does he have to come out and then insist upon a match with Darius Lockhart? Who asked for any of that? Was that on the run sheet? Why is Billy Dixon coming out wanting a match with Darius Lockhart? And why is Darius Lockhart about to accept that match? Tomfoolery. Nobody else sees that? I'm the only person that saw error in that?
I
That's
think
why I went out and took action. It doesn't make sense.
it was a moment between two friends, both who
No.
had been away from wrestling for a little bit, and they wanted to have that. Now, look,
Have
you
that in the
know,
locker room.
you
Have that in
you
the locker room.
you went and you
Text
made
each
your
other.
moment, and people remember you for it. But you also have taken some digs at Darius Lockhart, calling him Darius number 2. Let's dig into that a little bit, because right here on your name you put Darius Prime. In the time that he's been away from pro wrestling, and I did the math, it'll be 695 days from his last pro wrestling match until he faces you on February 24th. What do you think that you've done to supplant him in the world of professional wrestling?
It's not what I think that I've done. It's what I know that I've done. It's facts. It's proof. It's written. It's established who I am and what I've done. And that's what gets me so confused, is how people can so quickly leap from one thing to the other. People can quickly leap onto Darius Lockhart, and now it's forgetting about all the past transgressions, forgetting about the fact that he quit, the fact that he walked away from wrestling. He wasn't hurt. He wasn't injured. He wasn't taking time off to heal. That man quit. He was given the ball, just like I said, and he dropped it. He failed. I was never given the ball, because if I had the ball, I would have risen it higher than any man before me since. I hadn't had that opportunity, but I go out there and I make myself the most remembered part of every show. So why is it that I don't get those opportunities? Because I draw intimidation, because I draw fear, because I tell it how it is. I tell the truth. I attack at the root. Darius Lockhart, he presents that he does that. That's not what he does. He'll beat around the bush, then he'll change up. Now all of a sudden, Darius Carter is fortunate to have gotten a match with John Gresham. Now Darius Carter is being given an opportunity. Stop it. We're beyond that. We've been past that. What has Darius Carter done? I won the Super 8, the 2022 Super 8, the oldest running tournament in professional wrestling history, a tournament won by Christopher Daniels, by Xavier Woods, by Tommaso Ciampa. That's what I did. Jerry Lynn, 2-page spread, PWI, then another spread, Supercards. My face is in magazines. I am discussed, world ranked 144 on the PWI, as in 144 in the world. We're talking all professional wrestlers, all genders, televised, non-televised. Roman Reigns is same list. 144, that's where I was. Did you see Darius Lockhart's name on those lists in the past 3 years, the past 4 years? This is what I did. I built a resume for myself. That's how you get somewhere around here. You can politic, you can go around in the back and ask for stuff and beg for stuff, or you can go out there, deliver results, get your name printed in places on websites, and be the discussion point. People forgot about Darius Lockhart. I was the man. I am Darius Prime. They forgot about him. Once he comes back with the show, oh, okay, time to remember Darius Lockhart.
So let me ask you this. It sounds like you have something personal against him before you guys ever stepped into the ring at Ashe together, before you were a part of that segment that you technically weren't supposed to be a part of. What's the personal animosity? What does that stem from for you?
Why do you feel that it's personal? What gives you that idea? Is it because I'm passionate when I speak? Is it because I'm so direct in my address? What makes you think this is personal?
Just the fact that you went to this particular show to interrupt that particular segment to call yourself Darius number 1. And then now you're even saying that the culture forgot about him. You're mentioning the opportunities he got that you had to come take. It feels as if there's something that you have against him just simply based off of what you said. It's just speech. It's just what's written. I'm just going based off of the things you said.
This is all factual. Look, it's all presenting itself before you in the ways that you just described. I was already on the show. It's not like I wasn't on the show. Billy wasn't on the show. So why aren't you talking about that? Did Billy have a match? He was not on the show, but you're sitting here talking to me about Darius is in the segment he wasn't supposed to be in. I already had a match. My match came only a few later. So I took time from my preparation, my pre-match prep, because I wanted to make it clear to Darius's face that I am Darius 1. I didn't go behind his back. I didn't tweet about it. I came to his face and let him know, reminded him that he is the inferior Darius. It's a fact. It's not an opinion. And I let Billy know that I reminded him that he quit on June 17th, 2022. So why is he still coming out and wrestling as Billy Dixon when he literally lost the I Quit match against me at Pro Wrestling Vibe in New Jersey? It's done. But nobody's talking about that. That's all okay. It's okay that someone who retired comes back to wrestle. It's okay that Darius Lockhart has the teacher in the ring giving him a check. Give him that in the locker room. We have wrestling to get to. Who are you trying to impress?
I see where you're coming from.
Teacher money. Who cares? Give him that on the side. Mail that to him.
I see where you're coming from.
Okay, then.
But that doesn't mean that I necessarily agree.
I don't need you to agree.
The teacher didn't put his hands on you. You put your hands on him when he wasn't in the ring.
But he was. But why was he raising his voice? I'm working. I'm doing what I'm paid to do. I'm performing. I'm wrestling against a world-renowned talent, one of the greatest technical wrestlers in this profession today, Jonathan Gresham. I am going move for move, hold for hold with this man.
You did.
I end up outside the ring. Why is Mr. Mulligan, why is he standing out of his seat, pointing his finger? What does your mother teach you about pointing your finger? Why is he screaming and pointing his finger at me? I took matters into my hands because he was a poor example of a teacher. That's the example you're setting for this kid. To get up and point your finger at me because you don't like the fact that I'm winning a wrestling match? Sit down. You probably didn't pay. You didn't pay, of course, because he gave you a check. So obviously you had a free seat. Sit down, be grateful, and watch. Don't get up and point your finger, leaving an impression on kids. Now the kids are going to do the same thing you're doing, vilifying me. When all I've done is said the truth. All I've done is spoken the truth. You yourself, oh, I see your point. I don't agree with it. Who cares if you agree? My point is valid. Everything I'm saying is factual. Why am I not getting an interview segment? You should come out and interview me because I'm the guy. I'm the one that's really been holding the culture up, but I don't get the credit for it. Should D gets a championship run.
Well,
I'm the one doing the work. I'm the one doing the work. Am I or am I not?
I'm happy to report that Mr. Milligan is okay. He was a little injured after that push.
He is a mulligan.
But let me say this though, because you did. I don't want to take this away from you. You beat Jonathan Gresham at Ashe #1. Now some people are disputing that finish. There was a hand on the tights, but let's move past it. You got the 1, 2, 3. Since that happened on December 1st in 2023, how have people talked about you differently in the world of pro wrestling, and how does that help you prepare for a match like this against somebody like Darius Lockhart?
It's perception, and it's not about being underrated. That time is come and gone. People know who I am. People know that I'm a force. People know it is established. It is known. That's the point that I'm making, is that Darius Lockhart isn't just returning to wrestle a match. He's coming back to wrestle a walking supercomputer. He's coming back to wrestle the most difficult man to wrestle because I beat everybody. I win all the time. Championships all over the place. My mantle is full, and I'm still adding to it. I have to create new space because I put the work in for this. Every single weekend, I am wrestling. I am out there performing state to state. While Darius is doing everything he can to prepare himself for his first match back in over 2 years, I am still sharpening Already being the diamond I am sharpening every single weekend leading up to this match.
Well, let me ask you about that. What advantages do you feel like you have that you've been on the road wrestling? There hasn't been a break versus somebody who will be having their first match in 695 days.
I'm active. I'm ring ready. I'm sitting here taking the falls, taking the hits every single occasion, and I'm back for more. And I'm going state to state, going here to Delaware, to Maryland, to Connecticut, to North Carolina, to Florida, up and down the coast. I'll get out to California WrestleMania week, sure. Perform out there, defend the championship there. I'm continually active nonstop, and that does matter because when I hit Darius, he hasn't felt what he's felt from. He hasn't experienced that. And here's the thing: I did wrestle him before, back in 2018, right before my second UK tour, and I beat that man. That was Battle Club Pro. Bash in the Bronx. So I did beat him in Bronx, New York. Let's bring that back. So he has felt a previous version of Darius Carter. If he's judging off of that, he has no idea. If he is judging off of the grappling that we had when I tied him up in that match, he has no idea. He can only judge me from 6 years ago, a wrestling match that we had. He has no idea the levels that I have achieved now. Clearly he doesn't, because he thought he was giving me an opportunity on his show. When I earned that match, I was very much, clearly, very much so, the only person that could have matched up against Gresham in that way. There was no one else that could have beaten him. I beat him, no matter what you want to say about it. I beat him. Referee's decision is final. So you're going to tell me I'm going to beat Jonathan Gresham, but I should walk into this match with Darius Lockhart with reservations? I should be afraid, or I should be concerned? Listen, I'm not underestimating him. I expect him to come in and do work. I expect him to not be a pushover. I'm not saying I'm going to beat the man in a few seconds. But what I'm sitting here and telling you is that everyone's talking about his return, but he's wrestling me. I'm the one person that can and will shut it down in one night. Done.
You definitely have the upper hand because he hasn't wrestled in a long time. But I do want to ask you this. You mentioned in your promo against Darius that the culture crowned him before. Is there a part of you that maybe feels slighted that maybe there wasn't a group of people coming put behind you, pushing you? And is that what fuels you to get involved in segments, to push somebody like Mr. Milligan, to say things like this against somebody like Darius Lockhart?
It's activity, and it needs to be seen. It needs to be heard. Absolutely. I mean, let's talk about it. Something has to be done. There's too much stagnancy, and that's why one of the first things I said when I got out there, I said, here we are doing the same thing again. Giving Darius Lockhart the ball again when he took it and quit. He left. No one got rid of him. He left. Why is no one talking about that? Here's Billy Dixon. He had his chance, and the man literally quit and said he's retiring. That was the promotion going into the match. He's done. So now he comes out of retirement, and it's okay. This is what I mean. Hypocrisies, double standards. The culture is filled with it. That's all the culture does. That's all the people, that's all the Black culture is doing. Acquiescing, accepting the crumbs that are given to them. Here's your seat at the table. Sure, it sits lower than everyone else's, but it's a seat at the table. And you jump and you take it. You always accept the lowest common denominator. You accept the bottom of the barrel. I am a standard. I am a platinum standard. I won't sink myself or the culture that low. I want better for us. You don't want better for yourself, but I want better for us. And that's how I achieve it. Suge D, as the Pan-African World Diaspora World Wrestling Champion, it's mind-boggling. I can hardly get through the sentence without vomiting internally. This is what we have allowed our standard to be. Darius coming back, just picking up the ball that he dropped. Does it work like that? Is that what we're teaching our kids?
I think.
Go ahead, quit. Go ahead, quit. Because you can come right back and have your spot.
I think he's also showing people that you can take some time off for you if you need it, whether that's mental healing, physical healing, or other things. And that's more so the thing that he's been pushing. But hey, you have a different way of looking at it. That's fine. The big thing is that this is going to be a huge match. I mean, something that probably the pro wrestling world should probably be talking about more in general. Two big time pro wrestlers in yourself and Darius Lockhart on February 24th. Now, after that match is over, I want to know from you, the all-father Darius Carter, you call yourself Darius Prime. What does your 2024 look like, and how does February 24th set you up for the rest of the year for what you want to accomplish in the world of pro wrestling?
That's what Darius Prime means, being the Darius, the original, the one that's grinding and putting on for the culture, the man at the core. We're talking about 2024. My first quarter alone is looking fantastic. I'm going to end the quarter, being March, competing in the Super 8 tournament again, 2024 Super 8. I have the opportunity to win the Super 8 for the second time in 2 years. I will be the second only wrestler to ever do this. The only man who's won the Super 8 twice is Christopher Daniels. It took him 4 years to do it. 2000 winner, 2000 winner, 2004 winner. Me, I can do it in 2 years. I'll do it quicker, and I'm entering the ECWA champion. So this is history I'm talking about. I'm doing this as a black professional wrestler making history. Put that on the pedestal. Talk about that culture, because that's what I'm doing. That's one part of the year. The next night, literally after Ashe, I'm going to Maryland to wrestle Jordan Blade for the first time with Elo Neal's special guest referee. I'm going from Darius Lockhart to Elo Neal as a special referee, but against Jordan Blade, back to back. Darius gets to rest the next day, heal himself, put ice on the wounds, and there will be many. He'll get to spend his day in bed. I'm back up at it. Why aren't we talking about that?
Well, obviously your accomplishments are huge, and we will be talking about it, and that's one of the reasons why we have this, so that Ashe fans can see what's happening. They can get ready for this event. So now let's sell some tickets. All right, I'll give you the floor. Your final comments to Darius Lockhart before you two lock horns on February 24th in Charlotte, North Carolina at Piedmont Open IB Middle School. Why should fans come see you, and why are you going to have your hand raised at the end of that match?
I'm the one that's been holding this all up. I'm the one that's not getting the credit, not getting the respect, not getting the spotlight, but the man that's getting it done. And guess what? In my own way, I am getting seen. I am being noticed. Somebody says on Twitter that you can't find me, you can't look me up. You can Google Darius Carter. I come right up. I'm all over the place. I'm all over the place because I'm out here making the moves and doing the right things and showing the world who I am. You know who I am. You're seeing who I am. You're realizing who I am. So when you think that this is just Darius Lockhart's return, when you think this is just his comeback match, understand that this will be the most difficult night of his life. And if you are invested in this man, if you care about this man, your heart will palpitate. You will sweat because you are going to feel the pain that he will feel. For the people that want to see real change in the culture, you will be watching to see Darius Carter win because you want difference too. You want something to happen. Nothing's happening. I'm making things happen. No more carousel acts, no more false heroes. I'm the real deal. False gods fall before the champion, and I am the champion of the culture.
Is there not room for
Darius
both of you guys?
Lockhart, February 24th. North Carolina, you know that bringing your best won't be enough. You need more than your best. So just sleep good that night. Be healthy, be well, because it's going to be, as I illustrated, the most taxing, trying day and night of your entire career.
Is there not room?
Can't wait. I can't wait. How do you feel about that?
Is there not room for both of you guys in the culture? It feels like you're talking about an either or type of thing.
No more quitters. We're done with quitters. Why did I come out in the ring? Because there's 2 quitters in the ring with a teacher accepting a check. A circus, an absolute clown show. We're not doing that. We're done with that. 2 quitters talking about wrestling each other. You both quit.
Well, Darius Lockhart will be back. That doesn't sound like a quitter to me. February 24th at the Piedmont Open IB Middle School, Charlotte, North Carolina. The All-Father, Darius Carter, taking on the revolutionary Darius Lockhart. Darius Carter, thank you so much. Nice watch, by the way. Thank you so much for joining us today.
That's it. You're welcome.